Picture entering a courtroom that is so crowded, you can sense the atmosphere of betrayal. On one hand, Kody Brown, cool and resolute, holding a folder full of secrets that have built up over years. On the other, Kody Brown and Robyn, white-faced, lawyers speaking urgently in their ears. And then comes the gavel bang. Boom. The judge leans forward and utters those three words that turn it all on its head. Kody Brown was right all along. What ensues is a $15 million scandal. Nobody, not even the Brown family, saw coming. And let me tell you, this story is not just about fraud. It's about loyalty, lies, and the ultimate question: how far would someone go to protect their power? Stick with me, because by the end, you're going to have your jaw on the floor. If you believe that Kody getting her justice finally is something you want to discuss, leave your comments below now. I'd love to know whose team you'd be on. The cameras flash at the courthouse as if for a Hollywood premiere. The reporters are calling out Kody's name, imploring a statement, as the rest of the Brown family move by in silence. Inside, the air is heavy, that weighty kind of silence that makes your skin crawl. Kody sits at the plaintiff's table, her hands firm, eyes fixed on the judge. She's wearing deep, almost royal blue, as if she's announcing to the world that she won't back down. Across from her, Kody fidgets with his tie, his jaw locking. Robyn hunches in, speaking in a whisper, but her voice trembles. For years, Kody was the wife who had worn a smile through the pain, played along at the game of polygamy. But today she's not. All this started months ago, when Kody discovered what she referred to as the missing millions. Promised money, hidden money, money that didn't balance in the family's books. She assumed it was haphazard bookkeeping at first, but the deeper she dug into emails, old contracts, even text messages, the something more sinister. Money funneled into secret accounts, divorce petitions that had been secretly modified, and signatures that weren't hers. Kody wasn't battling solely on her own behalf. She alleged the scam extended up to $15 million. The judge's gavel comes down once more. The room comes back to life. Kody's attorney rises and starts. Your Honor, this is a case of betrayal on the most fundamental level, not just to my client, but to the system of trust that kept this family intact for decades. In the courtroom, Kody's attorney is objecting, labeling it a family feud masquerading as a scandal. But everyone in the room is aware, this ain't no ordinary family feud. This is about power, money, and the truth finally breaking through. If you believe Kody's been concealing something for years, just wait until you see what Kody's attorney has to say next. The first bit of evidence, a series of bank statements. Kody's attorney produces them, the figures black and bold on the white page. These accounts, he says, indicate money diverted, money that was intended to go towards family property in common, towards agreed-upon investments for all the wives. Instead, we see big withdrawals transferred into accounts in the names of Mr. Brown and Mrs. Brown. He points towards Kody and Robyn. The courtroom is abuzz. You can almost hear the murmurs spread among the onlookers. Kody maintains her eyes fixed ahead, but in her mind, her heart races. This isn't about numbers. This is about the years she was made to stay quiet, overlooked, and discredited. And then there is the second hook in this session. Kody's attorney puts a photocopy of a divorce file on the table. This, he says, is supposed to be my client's legal divorce documents. But the signature here, he points, is a forgery. The judge raises an eyebrow. Kody squirms in his seat, clearly uncomfortable. Robyn holds fast to his arm, as if holding him steady. The seriousness of that charge hits him. A false divorce file is not only fraud, it's perjury, it's criminal. It's the sort of thing that will land people in prison. And this is what Kody has been waiting for. The lawyer continues, for years my client was told her divorce was handled, finalized, proper. But she never signed these papers. Someone else did. And it just so happens that signature was notarized under Robyn Brown's name. Gasps echo through the courtroom. Robyn's face goes white. The crowd leans forward, willing to hear every syllable. Kody looks at Robyn, and their eyes cross for the first time. It's not hate, it's something colder, final. What if the very person Kody used to address as her sister wife is the person who hurt her the most? Kody recalls all those evenings, huddled in the living room, playing everything cool. She recalls Robyn's tears, her constant assertions of devotion to the family, her determination that she desired peace. And yet, gazing at those papers now, Christine realizes it for what it was, an act. The judge clears his throat. "This is serious," he declares, his voice resonating. "Forgery charges will demand further testimony and expert examination." His words weigh heavily. The courtroom is no longer a platform for family melodrama. It's now a war zone. Kody gets up then. He doesn't say anything. His attorney jerks him back into his seat before he can utter a word. But his look at Christine speaks volumes. Anger, betrayal, fear. And here is the second hook within this session. Christine's attorney vows, "This is just the beginning, Your Honor. We have emails, we have recordings, and we will demonstrate that my client was not only misled, she was intentionally cut out of $15 million. The courtroom gasps once more. Christine can feel the tears pricking at the corners of her eyes, but she doesn't let them come. She can't. Not yet. The proof is just starting to come to light. The appalling tapes Christine's investigators uncovered will turn this case on its head. When the judge announces a recess, the drama carries over into the corridor. Reporter swarms. Kody blusters through them, grumbling, "This is a witch hunt." Robyn brings up the rear, sunglasses covering her face. Christine, however, hesitates. She glances straight at the cameras and murmurs quietly, "I just want the truth." The doors click shut behind her, and the world is left abuzz with questions. But what no one is aware, not yet, is that Christine's reality is more explosive than anyone could ever have imagined. Because the next bit of evidence isn't merely about money, it's about betrayal. So profound, it has the potential to tear apart every remaining relationship this family has. The gavel comes down, and the courtroom is still once more as people settle into their seats. The tension has changed since recess. It's more palpable now, more treacherous, like the eye of a storm. The judge bends forward, his tone firm. "We will now hear the audio evidence." Christine's lawyer rises, holding a small flash drive between his fingers. His words drip with weight. "Your Honor, what you're about to hear will confirm not only the forgery but also the intent behind this entire fraud." The lights dim a little as the sound system hums into existence. The courtroom waits with bated breath. The recording starts. Kody's voice, indubitable, low and pointed. "If she won't sign, we'll make it appear as though she has." Christine has no idea what is on the line. "We can't allow her to destroy everything." The gasp of relief that fills the courtroom is thunderous. Robyn's face distorts, eyes flicking between the judge and her husband. Christine sits blank-faced, lips compressed, chest heaving with great gasp. This is the time Christine has waited for. The time that turns the power structure on its head. For so long, she was muzzled, her voice drowned out in a family where obedience was loyalty. But now, before the judge, before the cameras, before the world, it's Kody's own voice that condemns him. If forged documents are astounding, wait until you see what else is not revealed on these tapes. The judge reclines, his eyes narrowing. "Mr. Brown, is this your voice?" Kody's attorney jumps up. "Objection, Your Honor. This recording was made without justifiable consent. It's inadmissible." But the judge shakes his head. "We will hold admissibility in abeyance pending review. In the meantime, the jury will hear it." The audio continues. A second voice enters. Robyn's. Her tone is trembling but complicit. "But what if Christine finds out? What if she fights back?" Kody replies coldly. "Then we'll bury her under paperwork. She won't stand a chance." The courtroom explodes with murmurs. Robyn's face turns ghostly white. She presses her hands to her temples, whispering, "No, no. Suppose the tapes show that this wasn't only fraud, but that Kody and Robyn conspired together." Christine's eyes begin to well up with tears. But these are not tears of pain. These are tears of vindication. All those years, all those moments when she questioned herself. It's right here, out in the open. She tightens her fist under the table. Her lawyer presses forward, his voice sharp. "Your Honor, this recording confirms not only forgery but intentional deception. It confirms the conspiracy to defraud my client of her rightful share." But Kody won't go down without a fight. He slams his hand on the table, shouting, "This is twisted. You're all twisting my words." The judge pounds his gavel, demanding order. In the midst of that chaos, Christine turns her head, at last directly facing Kody. She speaks firmly but softly, so that only those who are closest can hear. I told you the truth would come out. The room goes still. Even Robyn glances at her, shocked by the quiet defiance in Christine's voice. This is no longer a courtroom fight. It's decades of silence bursting wide open. It's a woman claiming back her voice against the man who believed he could silence her forever. And the cracks in Kody's grip are spreading wider than anyone had anticipated. The defense attorney attempts to take back the reins. He impugns the recording as doctored, that Christine is revenge-motivated, that this is a bitter ex-wife, attempting to ruin what's left of the family. But even in speaking, the jury appears uncomfortable. The voice on the tape rings louder than anything he might say. Next, Christine's attorney drops another bombshell. He shares an email thread between Kody and a financial planner. The subject line, reallocation of family assets. The planner warns that relocating funds without authorization from all involved might be deemed fraudulent. Kody responds tersely, and in a chilling manner, do it anyway. She won't know. The crowd gasps a second time. This is no longer just rumor-mongering. This is written evidence. The deeper the testimony goes, the more it becomes impossible for Kody to get out of. But the worst is yet to come. Robyn's attorney requests a recess, but the judge refuses. We go on, he demands. Robyn explodes in tears, her shoulders heaving as she begs silently. I didn't want this. I didn't want any of this. But Christine doesn't relent. She can't. Not after all she's been through. Her kids left wondering why school field trips, braces, simple things weren't possible. All the while millions were stashed away. The courtroom becomes claustrophobic now. Even the audience fidgets, some shaking their heads at Kody, others looking on in shock. Then the unthinkable occurs. The prosecution produces a surprise witness, a past family accountant. The man comes forward, his voice shaking but firm. I was instructed to forge records. I was instructed that Christine did not need to know about certain papers. And when I objected, I was threatened. The defense springs up, protesting angrily. But the harm is done. The words are said, and they're like a curse, hanging in the air. Christine glances down, her breath stopping. She knew it was terrible, but she had no idea it went this far. And just when you think this trial has brought it all out, another level of betrayal is revealed. One that may destroy not just the courtroom but the very fabric of the Brown family itself. The accountant's testimony suggests something larger. Outside investors, dirty deals, money laundering disguised as family projects. The stakes are huge. This is not a family scandal anymore. This is federal. The judge calls for documents to be submitted as evidence, his expression grave. He looks at Kody with something close to disgust. If what I'm hearing is true, Mr. Brown, this court is not the only one you'll be answering to. Kody freezes, bravado slipping. Robyn buries her head in her hands, crying like a storm. Christine squeezes her eyes tight, finding an inner strength. She knows the journey ahead is long, but for the first time in years hope burns within her. If Christine believed she was only fighting for her portion of the pie, she's soon to discover the scandal threatens to topple much bigger than Kody's reputation. The judge announces another recess. The crowd surges out into the hallways, reporters scrambling for sound bites. Inside, Kody collapses into his chair, muttering, "They can't prove it. They won't prove it." But his voice lacks conviction. Christine doesn't look at him. She gathers her papers quietly, her movements deliberate. Her lawyer leans down and whispers, "We're winning." She nods, but she is weighed down in her heart. Court victory doesn't wipe away the years of deception. It doesn't repair the shredded trust, but it does this much. It demonstrates to her children, her friends, and the world that the truth does prevail. While flashes from the cameras illuminate the hallway outside, Christine bracingly prepares for what is to follow. Because the next witness, held in suspense just beyond the courtroom doors, isn't a stranger at all. It's someone within the family, and their testimony will hurt more than anything that has occurred previously to Christine. The courtroom doors open, and a silence settles over the audience. All lean forward, wondering, almost holding their breaths, to find out who is about to take the stand. And then it happens. In walks Janelle Brown. The whole room stirs in shock. Christine's head whips around to her, confusion dashing in her eyes. Janelle had remained silent throughout most of the scandal, not taking sides publicly. She was the calm one, the peacemaker. And yet, now here she stands, summoned as a witness. The judge nods. "Mrs. Brown, stand up." Christine's heart constricts. If Janelle testifies against her, everything will disintegrate. Picture the individual whom you assumed was your quietest supporter bursting out of obscurity, with secrets that may save or ruin you. That is what Christine is confronted with as Janelle Brown. Reserved, quiet, and clearly apprehensive, raises her hand and promises to tell the truth. Would Janelle finally reveal the deception, or would she defend Kody once more? Stick with me, because this moment switches everything. The courtroom freezes. Even Kody appears disturbed, his brows knotting, lips drawn in a tight line. Robyn clutches his hand, muttering something indistinguishable, her face smeared with tears. Janelle swallows hard. She clears her throat. Her voice shakes at first, but she gathers herself. I was in this family for decades. I witnessed things I didn't always get. But I also remained silent because I didn't want to be the one to bring it all crashing down. She hesitates, glancing at Christine. But what is it doing right now? It's already fractured. Gasps run through the room. Christine's heart pounds. Janelle's words hang heavy. Not condemnation yet. But not betrayal either. Janelle's silence is broken, and what she is about to say may incinerate the last bridge between her and Kody once and for all. Christine reclines, steeling herself. The attorney moves forward. Mrs. Brown, could you clarify what you mean by saw things? Janelle gulps. I witnessed money being transferred. I witnessed documents Christine never signed, but that were filed anyway. I was instructed not to ask questions. She glares straight at Kody, and I regret keeping silent. Kody smacks his hand on the table. Lies, you're distorting everything. His words ring out, but the judge shuts him up with the gavel. Christine's eyes brim with tears. For the first time she senses Janelle's support. Honest and honest to goodness. And this is where the story gets pointed. Janelle is not merely a witness. She is the insider, the one who survived it all. Her words have the ability to bring down the defense's final wall, or to dismantle Christine's entire case. Janelle goes on. I knew about the secret accounts. I read the emails. I didn't want to believe it, because it meant my entire life was a lie. But Christine, she's lying. The courtroom gasps once again. She's lying. The courtroom gasps once again. Kody hides his face in his hands. Robyn shakes her head furiously, mouthing no, no. Christine's attorney doesn't hesitate. Brown, do you have evidence? Janelle slowly shakes her head. Yes, I brought it. She produced a folder. Her own financial statements, notes, copies of bank transfers she secretly saved up over the years. The judge reads through them, his face growing stern. This supports a lot of the plaintiff's accusations, he says. Kody appears to be ready to burst. His voice goes up, cracking with rage. You were supposed to be faithful, Janelle, after all of this. You betray me like that. Janelle's lips shake, but her eyes remain fixed on him. No, Kody. You betrayed all of us. What Janelle just revealed doesn't merely vindicate Christine. It has the potential to take apart Kody's whole defense bit by bit. The courtroom devolves into murmurs. Reporters writing madly. Christine clutches Janelle's hand with a tight squeeze, silently thanking her. For once, the tension between them shatters into something greater, solidarity. But then, the defense strikes back. Kody's lawyer stands, his tone sharp and cruel. Mrs. Brown, isn't it true you're only siding with Christine because you're bitter? Because you two have separated from Mr. Brown? Janelle stiffens. I may not be married to him anymore. But bitterness doesn't create bank records. It doesn't forge signatures. It doesn't make recordings. The courtroom applauds softly before the judge gets quieted down. Even Christine is hit with that phrase. They cannot be denied. But just as Christine hopes to feel a wave of optimism, another turn comes. The defense produces their own evidence, an email supposedly written by Christine years previous, indicating she would do anything to get out of the marriage with money. Gasps echo in the room. Christine's stomach lurches. She shakes her head wildly. That's not real. I never wrote that. And now the question is Christine a victim of fraud? Or will Kody's team turn the tables, portraying her as the mastermind of an act of revenge? The judge looks tense, flipping through the printed email. Christine's lawyer demands a forensic check on the document. This email is fabricated. Your Honor, we'll prove it. But the damage is done. Whispers ripple through the crowd again, this time directed at Christine. Her face flushes red, her throat tightening. She feels the weight of doubt pressing down on her shoulders. Even in the most solid cases, one bit of phony evidence is enough to unsettle the jury's faith. But Christine won't buckle. Christine swallows hard, but her shoulders straighten. That's not me. I never wrote it. And if you wish to drag my good name through the mud to cover for him, then do so. But the truth will prevail. Her words ring with unbridled power, muzzling even the doubters. The judge nods, instructing the contested email to be verified. Nevertheless, the question remains in the air. Kody smirks, hunching toward Robyn. See, she's desperate. She'll do anything to make me look bad. But his words aren't as hot as they used to be. His hold on the story is fading. Christine senses Janelle's hand across hers once more. This isn't her battle anymore. It's theirs. And she knows Meri, quiet on the sidelines, is observing intently too. At the end of the session, the judge declares that tomorrow's witness will be someone no one anticipated seeing testify. A family member whose silence has been louder than any spoken word to date. And when their name is dropped, the entire courtroom gasps in astonishment. The courtroom doors creak open once more, and everyone readjusts in their seats. The judge clears his throat, booming voice through the strained silence. Next witness is Meri Brown. Gasps ripple through the gallery. Christine's breath hitches. Meri, the first wife, the woman who had stood by Kody during thick and thin, who had experienced her own heartbreak, who had been left in the background so often, is going to testify. Picture yourself seated in a courtroom, your liberty, your truth, your dignity hanging in the balance, and then having one person who is privy to your deepest secrets, your private battles, your most intimate moments asked to testify against you. That's what Christine is facing today. Will Meri come forward as a friend, or turn the knife even sharper as a tool for Kody's defense? Hang on, because what Meri tells us next will leave everyone speechless. Meri stands slowly, her complexion waxen, eyes shining with a combination of pain and resolve. Christine's stomach lurches. For years their relationship was volatile, at times sisterly, at times broken. Now in this courtroom, it all depends on which side Meri chooses. Kody sits forward, nearly smug. Robyn clutches his arm, whispering in relief, as if triumph has just entered the room. The judge administers the oath to Meri. She sits, interlacing her fingers in her lap, lips purse. Christine can't read her. Not yet. The lawyer moves forward. Mrs. Brown, you've been with this family from the beginning. Can you tell us what you saw about the allegations against Mr. Brown? Meri takes a deep breath, her voice breaking. I saw a lot of things. Things that I wished I hadn't seen. Things that I tried to act hadn't occurred. She glances at Christine, and for one moment, the room seems to hold its breath. This is the moment that can tip the whole case. Meri's honesty has the potential to destroy Christine, or finally reveal Kody for what he is. Christine prepares herself. Meri goes on. I knew documents had been filed that Christine hadn't signed. I knew money flowing into accounts Kody alone managed. I remained silent for fear of losing everything. The courtroom is abuzz. Reporters frantically scribble. Christine fights back tears. In defiance of all reason, Meri is testifying to support Christine's allegations. But just as relief starts to bubble up in Christine's chest, Meri's tone changes. But I also knew Christine wanted out for years. She said things in anger. She said to me once that she'd rather see Kody destroyed than be trapped. Christine's heart sinks. She shakes her head. Meri? That's not. The judge slams the gavel for quiet. The damage is done. And here's the surprise no one anticipated. Meri is not completely taking Christine's side or Kody's. Rather, she is tiptoeing on the edge of a razor blade, delivering enough truth to hurt Kody, but just enough uncertainty to hurt Christine as well. In this war, loyalty and betrayal are entwined in every sentence. Kody's attorney takes the opening. So, Mrs. Brown, you acknowledge. Christine said she wanted to financially ruin your husband. Meri pauses, looking at Christine once more. Her eyes glint with remorse. She said it when she was wounded. But words of rage don't always lead to action. Yet the defense smiles knowingly, having sown seeds of uncertainty. Christine sees her pulse pounding. All the ground she made with Janelle's testimony now hangs in the balance. One friend's half-truth is more lethal than outright betrayal, because it makes the jury doubt everything. The questioning persists. Meri dozzle out little tidbits, late-night fights, tears from Christine, rages from Kody. Half of it works in Christine's favor, half in Kody's. It's pandemonium, and the courtroom can't turn away. Christine's attorney finally stands up, walking slowly. Brown, let me ask you simply, after all that you've witnessed, do you think Christine is truthful regarding phony divorce papers and secret cash? The room is silent. Everyone leans in, Even Kody holds his breath for a second. Meri shuts her eyes, tears streaming down her face. Yes, I believe her. Christine gasps. Relief washes over her chest. But before she can even breathe, Meri continues. But I also believe she wanted revenge. The courtroom breaks out in whispers. The judge bangs the gavel again. The tension is too much to bear. So now the jury must grapple with the impossible question. Is Christine still a victim of fraud? If she too had bitterness in her heart? And more pressing, will Meri's fractured truth be sufficient to save Kody from utter ruination? Kody finally stands up, bellowing across the courtroom. Meri, after all I gave you, after all we created, you betray me like this? Meri snaps back, voice shaking but clear. You betrayed me first, Kody. You betrayed all of us. Gasps ring out. Christine's chest constricts once more. This is raw, painful history spilling into the courtroom. The case isn't just about fraud anymore. It's about betrayal, broken promises, and decades of pain coming over in the public eye. The judge orders recess. The courtroom buzzes with chatter as people rush to process what they just witnessed. Christine slumps in her chair, exhausted, but with a glimmer of hope. She knows Meri's words, fractured as they were, still tilted more truth toward her side. But Kody's not finished. He storms out of the courtroom with Robyn, his face flushed with anger. Cameras pop as he growls into the microphones. This is a witch hunt. My family has turned against me because I tried to hold it together. They'll regret this. Christine stands by, shivering at his threat. And just as she thinks she can finally breathe, her lawyer leans down and whispers, Christine, tomorrow, we're facing a new piece of evidence, something Robyn's been holding back. Christine's blood runs cold. Robyn, the one wife who stood by Kody no matter what, who's defended him at every turn, who knows his secrets better than anyone. If she's holding something, it could destroy everything. The session ends with Christine alone, her heart racing as she looks across the courtroom at Robyn. They catch each other's eyes for a second, and Robyn's look is enough to convey everything. Icy, emotionless and prepared. She has something significant, something that can shut down Christine's case once and for all. The courtroom air is heavier than ever. All eyes are on Robyn Brown, sitting at the witness stand. She's been silent for weeks, meticulously put together, observing everything from her seat next to Kody. But now she has the proof everyone has been waiting for. Proof that could shift the entire case in one direction. This is it. The last witness, the last secret, the one revelation that will bury Christine's case in the rubble, or give her the most complete victory of her life. Robyn Brown isn't merely another wife in this story. She's the guardian of truth. And when she tells it, everything shifts. Will she defend Kody no matter what? Or will she release the truth that even he cannot silence? Let's see. Robyn fiddles with the microphone, her hands shaking slightly. She glances at Kody, then the judge, then finally Christine. A flash of guilt crosses her face, a brief fissure in the armor. The attorney edges forward. Mrs. Brown, you've said that you have documents in this case. The court requires you to produce them. Robyn inclines her head, her voice little more than a whisper. Yes, I do. She draws out of her bag a fat envelope. Gasps course through the courtroom as she places it on the table. Christine can feel her heart pounding against her rib cage. This is it. The judge signals the clerk to open the envelope. It contains bank statements, signed agreements, and most incriminating of all, a series of doctored divorce papers with Christine's name on them, forged in handwriting that is clearly not hers. This isn't conjecture anymore. It's concrete evidence that someone played fast and loose with the system, and the finger is pointed squarely at Kody. The courtroom erupts in whispers. Kody's face turns red. He rises to his feet, yelling, "This is a setup. Robyn, what are you doing?" Robyn's eyes overflow with tears, but her voice becomes steady. "I'm telling the truth, Kody. I can't bear your lies anymore. You involved all of us in this, and I won't be your shield." Christine gasps, putting her hand over her mouth. Meri and Janelle share shocked glances. For the first time ever, the fault lines in Robyn's commitment to Kody are revealed completely. And behold, the betrayal no one ever imagined. Robyn, the single wife who promised to stick with Kody no matter what, has just reversed the whole case on a dime. But is this justice, or vengeance? Christine's attorney seizes the moment. "Mrs. Brown, can you verify? Did Mr. Brown tell you to hide these documents?" Robyn pauses, smearing away tears. "Yes. He told me if I loved him, if I loved our family, I'd cover for him. I couldn't do it anymore." The jury looks on in stunned silence. Reporters almost tumble over each other, taking down the moment. Kody is fuming, veins throbbing at his temples. You think you've won, Christine? This is just Robyn's weakness. She's been manipulated by you. Christine rises, voice cracking but resolute. No, Kody, this is the truth. And the truth doesn't belong to me. It belongs to everyone you tried to control. The walls are closing in, and Kody can't yell his way out. Not this time. The judge signals for order, then leans forward, his voice firm but composed. This court has considered the document. The evidence on hand attests to fraudulent practices involving divorce filings and bank accounts held in Mr. Brown's sole name alone. Kody's face implodes in shock. His attorney attempts to protest, but the judge pins him with a cold stare. The judge goes on. Christine Brown's allegations of fraud and concealment are supported. This court holds in favor of Christine Brown the sum of $15 million in damages. The room explodes. Christine breaks down, her hands clapped over her face as Janelle and Meri move to surround her. Reporters rush, calling out questions, cameras flashing. Kody collapses into his chair, white-faced and trembling, muttering to himself, "This isn't over. This isn't over." Robyn stays rigid, sobbing, not able to even glance at him. For the first time, she's not his champion. She's just another shattered shard in the devastation he left behind. And voila, decades of secrets, betrayals, and secret documents come crashing down in a landmark judgment. But the question now is truly not just for cash. It's for what remains of this broken family. Christine stands tall, wiping away her tears. She gazes across the courtroom at Kody, who glowers back with a combination of anger and desperation. For decades she was silent, questioned, and marginalized. Today the gavel has proclaimed her right. The $15 million verdict isn't a number. It's the world's biggest repudiation of Kody's dominance. As Christine exits the courtroom, there is a burst of flashbulbs in her face. She shields her eyes but smiles through her tears. She knows this fight is done, but the war of healing has just begun. Kody stands back, yelling after her, "You'll regret this, Christine. You all will." His voice resonates down the marble corridors, but fewer and fewer ears are paying attention. Robyn at last composes herself, speaking in a whisper to reporters, "I couldn't lie anymore. Not for him." And then she walks away, leaving Kody by himself. Outside, Christine makes a brief press statement. Her voice is calm. This case was never just about money. It was about truth. And today, truth won. The people applaud. But her last look back at the courthouse is mixed. She understands the wounds of this trial will never go away. And that was Christine's victory. $15 million, but freedom. But here's what I'd like to ask. If you were Christine, would you feel triumphant? Or would you feel that nothing could ever restore the harm that had been inflicted? Share your thoughts in the comments, because this case may have concluded in the courtroom, but the controversy surrounding family, loyalty, and betrayal is far from over.